I think we've all been there. You try drugstore makeup that is so good and so fantastic that it makes high-end makeup feel like a scam. Like, why did I waste my hard-earned money on this when I can get something just as good, if not better, at the drugstores? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I have some affordable and drugstore makeup that is just so good. It rivals or even beats high-end in some cases. So if that sounds good, be sure to stick around. If you enjoy honest, unsponsored makeup reviews, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and let's go ahead and just jump right in and get started. All right, let's go ahead and start with eyeshadow first. And this palette has been so anticipated, you guys. This is the Alter Ego Daylight palette. Now, this is a dupe for Natasha Denona's I Need a Nude, which arguably was the biggest palette release of last year. And I've gotten so many questions asking me, when is Alter Ego going to dupe it? I don't have that kind of insider knowledge, but they just emailed me, I think it was last week, and told me that this was on the way. So I couldn't have been more excited because I know you all have been really excited about it as well. So this is what the palette looks like. It's called Daylight. It's $22, plus I have a coupon code to save 10%, so that's Gen 10. And as usual, the colors are arranged in a different order than the I Need a Nude palette, but they did bring back the magnetic pans, so you can swap it out and do whatever you want, whatever suits you. I personally like the way that they arrange everything by color. It just makes things super easy. And I just want to show you what it looks like next to I Need a Nude. I think, as always, they did a really good job with the color story, and they came really close to capturing all of the tones and the undertones and all of that. I'm just going to quickly show you some swatches of the palettes together. And another thing that I really love that Alter Ego does is not only are they duping the color story, but also the formulas. So in the I Need a Nude palette, we saw that Natasha Denona had brought out her wet look shadows that are a little bit more like sheer toppers with the micro glitter, so they look wet on your eyes. And Alter Ego did that same thing. You're not seeing just those straight up metallic shades like you would see in Natasha's older palettes. Alter Ego went ahead and did the same thing, which I think is so cool and kind of sets them apart from other brands that dupe eyeshadow palettes, because they really try to get as close as possible, not just with the colors, but with the textures as well. So as always, I want to do one on one side, one on the other. We'll do a comparison. I am going to do a wear test today as well, so we'll see which one lasts the longest. Normally, I have no issues with Alter Ego. They hold up really well most of the time. So another thing that I quickly want to mention before we get started is Alter Ego also has a new brush set. So this is a 7-piece brush set. I believe it's limited edition. You have mostly eye brushes. You do have this one face brush right here, and then you also have a concealer brush. And this set is $24. It's supposed to be their luxury set, so it's supposed to be, I guess, a higher quality version than their other one. Personally, I liked their other brushes already, so I'm anxious to see how these compare. So I just wanted to quickly mention those because that's what I'm going to be using for the look today. And I'm going to start out with their 205 brush, which looks like a fluffy crease brush, but it's not too big, so I think it's going to be good for hooded eyes. I'm going to start out with the shade Path right here, which is like a light taupey brown. And I already prepped my eyes with the MAC Paint Pot in Painterly, so I did that off camera before we even started. That way it's kind of dried down a little bit more. And I'm just going to work this shade into the crease, just going back and forth. So far, this is applying nicely. I think this brush is also nice and soft as well. Then in the I Need a Nude palette, I'm going to pick up the shade Mesh, which is this one right down here. And I'm just going to start working this into the crease. I did just clean off my brush on my Sigma switch, which I have in front of me, so we won't get any contamination between the two palettes, but I want to use the same brush just for consistency. Next, I'm going to deepen the outer corner with the shade Lucid, which is this one right up here. And I'm picking this up on the 204 brush, which is a slightly smaller crease brush. And I'm just going to work that in small circles toward the outer corner of my eye. By the way, I can't believe that I'm wearing a hoodie in the middle of August, but it's 67 degrees today, which is insane. Even in the Northeast, it's never that cold in August. Usually it's the 80s minimum, if not the 90s. So it's kind of crazy. It feels like fall out there. It's stormy and rainy and just miserable weather. But that being said, I cannot recommend these hoodies enough. They're from Hollister. I have a few of them now. I kept getting more colors because they're the most comfy hoodies ever. And whenever I wear them, if I go to like hug somebody, I always get compliments. Like everybody's always like, it's the softest, coziest hoodie ever. And it truly is. It's like this brushed fabric that's just so soft. And also they're a long length, so you can wear them with leggings too. They're just kind of like really big and oversized. So just kind of on a side note, if you're looking for really good, cozy hoodies, check out Hollister. They have amazing ones. I'll actually link it down below in case you're interested. So then in Natasha Denona, I'm going to pick up the shade Tender, which is this one. But yeah, I don't know about where you guys are, but the weather has just been crazy this summer. So many storms. We're supposed to get the hurricane on Saturday, I think. But luckily, by the time it comes here, I think it's just supposed to be a lot of rain, but still, it's going to be miserable weather. So it's kind of a bummer. We're a few weeks away from the start of the school year again. And I don't know, I just look forward to summer so much. I feel like it's so short when you live in the Northeast. I just kind of wish it lasted a little bit longer, you know? All right, I'm just going to go ahead and apply a little bit of the NYX glitter primer to my lid. I like to use this especially for these kinds of shades because they do have the little micro glitters, and that way I don't get as much fallout. So I think I'm going to go with the shade Divine, which is this one right up here. It's one of the toppers and it has a little bit of a pink tone to it. And I'm just going to start packing that in the inner corner of my eye and bringing it back toward the middle. Ooh, it's really, really intense. Again, gotta love that glitter primer because it definitely helps to amp things up a little bit. And then I think I'm gonna pick up a little bit of this shade too, which is called Mist. And I'm gonna put that toward the outer corner. I just wanna keep it from looking too white or frosty, so I just wanna deepen it slightly. All right, then on the Natasha Denona side, I'm gonna pick up the shade Mia, which is this one down here. And I'm gonna start that right here in the inner corner. And then I think the equivalent shade is Muse, which is the one right in the center. It's kind of like a champagne shade. And I'm just gonna put that one in the middle to the outer corner. All right, so here we have the two sides. I do feel like they are very, very close. The colors might be just ever so slightly different, but I feel like I got pretty much the same look. I think Alter Ego did a great job on the wet look shadows. They really do give that very similar effect. So overall, very happy as always with the Alter Ego palette. We'll see how it holds up in the wear test later, but I'm fairly confident that it's going to hold up well because they usually do for me. So next for mascara, I don't have a new one, but this is one of my favorite drugstore mascaras, and it is such a high-end formula. It's the Milani Highly Rated Anti-Gravity. This stuff is amazing. It gives my lashes so much length. It stays all day without smudging, and it doesn't get clumpy, and it's also not heavy. Like, it doesn't weigh my lashes down. So it's just an all-around amazing formula. All right, moving on for foundation. I don't have a new one, but it's kind of new. It's the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. This is another formula that just completely blew me away. I have a whole dedicated video on it, and honestly, I've never really loved an e.l.f. foundation. I hated their CC cream. I liked their, what was it called? The Flawless finish, I think, that came in the glass bottle with the pump. And I think this is actually supposed to be replacing that one. It's super similar, but the reason I didn't like that was because it had a ton of fragrance and it used to break me out. This one reminds me so much of that one, just without the fragrance, so it's awesome. It has the most natural skin-like finish. It's so thin and lightweight, and it's $8. I mean, it's incredible. The biggest gripe I have is with the shade range. I think while it's decent, I had trouble finding something with a cooler undertone. Everything looked a little bit more yellow or orange. It's not terrible because it's more on the sheer side. I can kind of make it work. But this shade Light Neutral is just a little bit more yellow than I would like. Still, I think it looks flawless. I also love the way that it kind of sets itself. It dries down really easily and it doesn't leave like a dewy finish, but at the same time, it's not drying either. So it's really the best of both worlds. I have really dry, mature skin, and it's absolutely perfect for me. So I'm glad that e.l.f. finally made a foundation that I really, really like. I mean, here's a close-up. It looks so good. It's not cakey. It doesn't look dry. It's really smooth. I love it. Next up, I have some new blushes that I think are just so fantastic, so affordable. The first one I've actually been wearing for a while now, and I still haven't talked about it on camera, so I wanted to sneak it into this video. And it's the Morphe Euphoric Rush blush, and this is in the shade Pleasured. So it's a nice cooler tone pink, and they claim that this has a swirl of primer running through it. I've used it a bunch, so you kind of can't see it, but you've probably seen this other places already, or if you've been in Ulta. Ulta. It's like a clear swirl of primer that goes through the cream blush. And it just has the softest finish on your skin. I'm just gonna swatch this color really quick so you can see what it looks like. So again, this is the shade Pleasured. It's like a really pretty cotton candy pink. And I've been wearing this now for weeks. I got this back in late June, and I think it's so pretty. It's really long lasting on the cheeks as well. I just want to quickly try it on, but I'm gonna have to take it off again because I want to try some others as well. So I just like to dot it on and then just blend with a sponge. It starts out initially feeling a little bit dewy, but on my dry skin, it does end up sinking in eventually. It doesn't dry to a powder finish, but it's not sticky feeling either. So you get that little bit of the dewy glow without it feeling sticky. I think the primer in the formula really helps with that because it just makes it feel kind of emollient and like dewy, like I said, but it's not like that sticky kind of blush that you like feel it when you smile and it feels like your cheeks are kind of like tacky. I don't know. I hate those. This one just gives you that really beautiful glow without the glitter or shimmer. So I love that. Another fantastic cream or liquid blush formula are these ones from Essence. These are the Baby Got Blush. So good. I mean, I was really impressed by these as well. So I have 4 different shades and I'll swatch them for you guys, but I just want to show you the packaging. It's very much like the Charlotte Tilbury ones. So it has the little sponge tip. I think pretty much everybody's copied those at this point. But the great thing about these is they're not glowy. So if you don't like that Charlotte Tilbury kind of highlighty blush, these are more matte. So I think that's great that they didn't go that route because I feel like every other brand that copied Charlotte Tilbury did that. And Charlotte Tilbury does have the matte ones too, but for some reason everybody focused on the glowy ones. I think because those are the ones that went viral. But another thing I love about these is the serum-like formula. They're so thin and weightless. So on the top we have Blush and Berry, then Pinkalicious, then the peachy one is Coral Crush, and then we have Dusty Rose down here. So these are all beautiful, and I love this formula. I've been using these as well. So let's just demo Dusty Rose, and I'll show you how these apply. So I just put a dot on my cheek. Again, blend it with your fingers, a sponge, whatever you have handy. You can use a brush too. And these just blend out so seamlessly. It really does just feel like a high-end formula. There's no patchiness. They actually give you time to blend. I know sometimes the drugstore formulas start to dry down too quickly, and this just gives you enough time to blend. You can also layer them too, so if you want to add a little bit more color, it builds upon itself really well. So overall, just a really stellar liquid blush formula that I think looks so natural. It looks like it's coming from within. They're just so pretty, and also not a sticky blush either. Now, if you do want that little bit of glow, Essence also has liquid highlighters in the same packaging. So these are Baby Got Glow. I have 3 shades here as well. So really with these, if you want, you can just take one. This is Sassy and Silk, and just blend it with the blush if you do want that Charlotte Tilbury kind of glow. And you can take the blush from matte to more of a glowy finish. And these are brilliant because they're not glittery, they're not really sparkly, they're just a nice, smoother, pearlized finish. So even though they do give you that little bit of glow, it's not like a glitter bomb on your cheeks. So let me just quickly show you the shades that I have in these. All right, so for these 3, we have Sassy and Silk at the top, which is like a champagne. Then we have Breezy Bronze. And the bottom one is Rise and Shine, which is a pink. And that one is so gorgeous too. But you can see how they're not really glittery and sparkly. They just have this soft pearlized effect, kind of similar to the Charlotte Tilbury highlighter ones. So I just love these so much. And at $5.99, you can easily buy 2 of these for 12 bucks and you can recreate the Charlotte Tilbury glow that costs $40 for one of those wands. And then you have 2 products, right? So you can use the blush on its own if you want a matte look, or you can put them together and create the glowy look. So between these and the Morphe blush, I just feel like they're such high-end formulas. They're so good. But I think the blushes that I am probably the most excited about are these Blush Crush from Essence. These are so beautiful. I did try this one, the warmer pink, in my last video, and I was so impressed with how it wore, but I really wanted to try the cooler tones that these come in. So I don't have all the shades. I ordered 3 of them, but there are definitely quite a bit more. I want to say they're $3.99, and I believe they're replacing the blush that Essence used to have. It was just called The Blush. Those seem to be gone from the Ulta website, and these are in its place. but I love what they're doing with the colors of these because you have these really beautiful cool tones, especially this purple. I'll show you just quickly some swatches of the 3 colors that I have. And when I tell you these are the silkiest, smoothest blushes ever, those of you who have tried this already, like I saw some comments in my last video and you all love them as well. They just blend out with no effort. They're incredible. They do remind me a bit of the NYX Buttermelt blushes, but they don't have the fragrance. So the NYX ones, you know, they smell like coconut. It's a pretty heavy scent, and I know not everybody loves that. So this is a great alternative to those if you don't like a scented product. These have no fragrance at all. And even though I tried one of these on already, I did promise to try the purple blush in a video, so that's what I wanted to do today. I feel like it'll just kind of go with my outfit a little more. And if you're like me and you have a cool undertone and cooler tone blushes tend to turn peachy or orangey on you, try purple, because purple, it doesn't actually look purple once you blend it out, but it usually comes out just looking like a cool tone pink on me, which is what I'm ultimately going for if I buy a cool tone blush. It doesn't always work out that way, so that's why I've been going for purple, and it's perfect. Like, it actually looks cool toned on me. If you happen to have a warmer undertone, like a yellow or orange undertone, then cool tone blushes probably do look cool on you because it's more of a contrast to your undertone. But if you already have a cool undertone, then you have to go extra cool to get it to actually show up that way. So that's something that I've just learned over time. For years, I was trying to figure out, why do those cooler tone baby pinks always look orangey on me? I couldn't figure it out until now. So purple is the way to go for sure. And I am loving this color. This is perfection. And these just apply so smoothly, no patchiness. It almost looks like the color is just coming from within because there's such a thin formula. I love these so much. They're so good. Moving on to lip products, there are 2 that I found that just have completely blown me away. I've tried them already and I'm just already obsessed with them. So the first one is from Essence. This is called the Slim Stick, and it says that they have 6-hour long wear. And it's funny because I did not expect to like these. I just wanted to try them because they're new, but they're a matte formula, which I normally don't get along with, but there are a few matte lipsticks that actually work out for me okay. One being the new Westman Atelier matte lipsticks, which are so expensive. They're like $50. And these actually remind me of those. So the 2 shades that I have are Brick Road up here, which is kind of like a warmer terracotta shade, and then Baby Got Blush, which is a cooler toned dusty pink. And these are the smoothest lipstick. I just want to try on both colors so you can see what they look like. Similar to the Westman Atelier, they just feel like velvet when you put them on, but somehow they don't make my lips feel dry, and they don't make them look dry either. Sometimes I put on a matte lipstick and it feels okay at first, and then as I wear it, maybe like half an hour in, I just want to take it off because my lips feel so tight and like they're starting to get chapped. But the first day that these came in the mail, when I ordered them from Ulta, I put this one on, just kind of testing it out. It was after dinner and I just kind of forgot about it. I forgot that I was wearing it. They're so lightweight. You don't even feel them on your lips. They have no fragrance. And that night when I went to take off my makeup and brush my teeth, I saw that I was still wearing it, and I'm brushing my teeth and I'm like, this isn't coming off. It still looks really good. So it stayed on through my night routine. I went to bed. Again, I forgot about it. I woke up in the morning, and as I was eating breakfast, I was like wiping my mouth with a napkin, and I look and it's got this pink on the napkin, and I'm like, what is that? And then I remembered it's still the lipstick. Like, it stayed on the entire night, which I wasn't expecting. Now, of course, it had faded. It was really just like the remnants of it, but I loved how it didn't look patchy or weird. It just wore off really evenly, and it almost left a little bit of a stain behind. So this is the shade Baby Got Blush. As you can see, it doesn't exaggerate my lip lines. It looks really smooth. So I'm going to stop talking just so you can see the color. And if you want even a more comfortable feel, just put a little bit of lip balm on underneath these as well. And that totally works too, although it'll decrease the wear time a little bit if you do that. But I just love how soft and creamy these are. So this one is Brick Road. Another super high-end lip product that I needed to share are these lifter liners from Maybelline. So unfortunately, I was only able to get 2 shades. I was at Walgreens, I saw them, the display was mostly picked over, so I only got 2 colors, but I definitely want to order more now that I've tried the formula. They're so incredible. It's funny because I think it was Allie Glines did a video on these in the beginning of July, and she was raving about how great they were, and I was on a no-buy in July, so I had to kind of wait until August to finally pick these up, but I'm so glad that I did. So these are not a twist up. They're the kind that you have to sharpen, but they're absolutely phenomenal. They're the creamiest lip liner ever. They just draw like silk. You hardly have to put any pressure and they just effortlessly glide on. They're amazing. So I have the shades Line Leader, which is a nude pink, and then Big Lift, which is a little bit more of like a mauvey rosy tone. And Big Lift actually reminds me so much of Makeup Forever's Wherever Walnut. That's another one of my favorite lip liners. I'm just gonna swatch it next to it so you can see how they compare. I feel like they're pretty close. Actually, Wherever Walnut is slightly warmer, but they're close. I think like if you're just lining your lips, you wouldn't tell that much of a difference. So I think I want to wear Line Leader today. I'm just going to show you Big Lift really quick just so you can see what it looks like. And I'm going to fill in my lips with it and just wear it like a lipstick. All right, so here is Big Lift. And then I'm just going to go ahead and apply Line Leader. This is really the perfect Your Lips But Better color. It's the perfect pinky nude. All right, so here's the shade Line Leader. This is definitely my favorite. All right, guys, so that's everything that I wanted to share. I'm gonna go about the rest of my day. We are gonna check in later and see how everything held up, especially when it comes to the Alter Ego palette. I really wanna see how it holds up next to Natasha Denona. So I will see you guys back here in a little bit. Hey guys, it is almost 10 p.m. It's 9:54 and I almost forgot to do this. So it was a busy night and now I'm kind of talking a little quietly because my son is in bed in the next room. So I just want to quickly share how everything is holding up. So eyeshadow, we have the Alter Ego on this side and the Natasha Denona over here. I feel like they both still look really good. I actually have a tiny little bit of glitter fallout on the Natasha side and the Alter Ego side. There's no glitter fallout whatsoever, so I'm really impressed with that. Also, the Essence blush, while it did fade a little, I still see it pretty well. So for that many hours, I applied everything around noontime. So we're going on 10 hours here and it's still holding up. Same thing with the e.l.f. foundation. I feel like that still looks pretty good. I have just a little tiny bit of the redness from my nose peeking through, but not bad. The lip liner wasn't gonna last because I had lip balm underneath. So it pretty much faded after I ate lunch and then I never ended up reapplying it the rest of the day, but I do still love how silky those are. So just anyway, I think there were so many amazing affordable products in today's video, so I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Have you tried any of these? What are your thoughts? Also, if you have some extra time and you'd like to watch another video, I'll just put something right over here that you could check out next. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. I truly appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day and I'll see you all in my next one. Take care. Bye.